Um, so okay, that one, like, I think everyone saw that. I was like, wait, prison lifer join queue from like that sounds sick. All right, the debtor's prison. Okay, so this one writes, Bolingbrook Penitentiary will now hold inmates who are in debt. Inmates will be required to work off their debt before they will become eligible for release. So this one's a contentious one. What are your guys' thoughts on this
Hot
one?
debate.
Hot debate.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I think
yeah.
and just so people to kind of know where the debate comes from, like viewers, there's like a lot of characters that are just kind of like either perma in debt or they are so deeply in debt that like and it's kind of just by nature of how they role play their characters. They don't grind jobs. They just take L's. So like, people have mentioned, especially people like the clowns or James Randall, those kind of characters. So, thoughts?
I mean, I think it's good. Like, I don't know. I think what they say, you can make like $4,000 an hour worth of like debt clearing in
I think it's gone up now. It was
Yeah.
100, but
Yeah, I think
now you can clear like 40K if you do
Yeah,
it.
I
I
think
think
an
it's like
hour?
1,000 per job.
we can
is what I
reduce
heard.
debt, I think, by like 5K every like 15 minutes, I think.
Yeah, the
Holy
guards
reduce
and
it
shit.
ourselves.
yeah,
I
we
mean,
Holy
make
shit.
that decision. So we have like a lot of leeway to actually like, incentivize like the debtors to, do what we, like if we want to do a scenario or something, we can say, hey, we'll like knock down your debt by like X amount if you win this game, or like I don't know. It's like another thing that we get to do too. And like it's not a death sentence, and you're not I don't feel like it says you're stuck in prison forever as it kind of comes across like
I
off the
mean,
bat.
look, I think it's even if you're in prison a long time, it's fine. Like people can make content out of it, right? Like especially now with lifers, right? You have lifers, you have a DOC. It's I mean like you have Scotty, Carmine, and Bobby in there. It's gonna be a disaster. It's funny. I think it's great.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, like, I think a way of kind of thinking about it, and I think it's also a lot of people reacted. To be fair, Chains, Dave, and Scapebeard, they didn't know that like you guys would have some leeway over that. I think a lot of people were like, oh, a character that, like, let's say a character is $100,000 in debt. They're just like, oh, this character is just gonna be locked up for a week clearing that debt. When it's like, I actually think maybe another way of framing it is the character is trading monetary debt for role play debt, and they are now in debt to the DOC, right? To you guys. And so now it's like we've created a role play relationship, which I actually think is good because, insofar as there's no IRS on the server, it's kind of like a cool, like now they have to like kind of be subservient to you guys, which I think is good RP.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like the main point of contention was the fact that this was just dropped out of the blue. Like there's people of dollars in debt. They were accruing.
That's the main thing.
They were getting debt. They didn't know that, a day later they're gonna get omega fucked. And I feel like that's where the anxiety and disdain.
I thought we
for it
talked about
comes
this in
from.
the RP podcast, right? With the clowns. I think we talked about this actually last one, Blau, did we not?
What did we talk about?
This coming law.
Yeah, I think it was hinted at then. I think people knew about it, but maybe just didn't expect it this much.
Didn't know what it was gonna be.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Again, I still think the biggest thing, like, maybe people didn't realize, is it's not going to just be like, at least my understanding, it's not just like, yo, oh, you're several $100,000 in debt, like, oh, you're just fucked, like you're just stuck in prison for weeks. It's like, no, there's going to be role play avenues to clear your debt.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. Initially, changes were made, and the debt clearing is like you can clear your debt really fast now. But I hope they make it steeper again, just so that the first crowd of people that didn't know the consequences to their actions.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Play, you're 100% right.
Yeah, grace period
Just
for like the
as-
first
yeah.
maybe like 30 days, and afterwards just it becomes like it's supposed to be.
So it's meaningful too, so people are not like, oh, I can just go to prison, make Carmine laugh, and now I'm free, 500K easy.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean play devil's advocate, but a lot of people's also perspective is like, okay, now that I have to get this on top, I play this silly ass character. Maybe I have to change. Maybe I can't be a goofball. Maybe I cannot take the L every single time if I'm gonna be stuck in prison all the time. I think there's that perspective as well. That hey, maybe I have to change how I play my character because now it's on top of it. I'm gonna receive more time and I have to pay off my debt too.
Yeah, and I think this is saying, you know, our DOC, the DOC 3 that we have here. You guys should. I talk about this, and SVA and Sab, you guys are gonna have to also kind of address, because I don't want to live in a world where Chatterbox is like, on fucking Discord radio, like, yo, okay, set up a box here, set up a block here, okay, I'm swapping to the bike here. Like, I don't want to see Chatterbox like fucking bike swapping at the Red Garage. I'm sorry, like that would be awful.
Yeah,
Like, I don't want to live in that world, please.
Yeah.
Turn him into a hardened crim gang for real.
Like the thing is you don't want to force the hand too hard, where you end up getting to the point where every group is the same. Every gang is trying to do the same things. Every gang is so pretty much, Blau, to your point, I guess that might be where frustration comes from. Is like clowns, like, dude, I'm telling you, I think I charged Chatterbox with like 20 counts of adoption. I don't even know. Like,
You're the reason.
Wow, you're the problem, dude.
No,
You don't even have a DOC. Be that man.
Listen, he did that shit.
He did that shit. No, he definitely did.
No,
He
dude,
definitely did that shit.
He did, and I'd be like, not Carmine. I was like, Chatterbox, hey, stop calling me that, okay? I don't want to charge you with adoption fraud. And then he would literally ask for it. And he would be like, please charge me with adoption fraud. I like
Papa 60K, Papa 60K, Papa 60K.
Yo,
I literally like I cut it down too. Like he'd be like, okay, that's 10. Like do 10 there. And I'm like, no, I counted, it was like 6. So yeah, I would like break it down and I would like specifically state it, and I was like, look, whatever. So he was literally like begging for it because I think he was just trying to get in as much debt as possible because it's funny.
Yeah,
and now he has that he has to deal with. So
I want to add on to that. I feel like it's okay to like have fun, right? But you can't let the funny like creep into the realism, because the realism is what adds suspense, and it adds weight to things, right?
like yeah.
So if there's if you don't have any consequences, if you're around for 3.0 like late game, there were no consequences. Like especially like the class 2 firearms era, where you had, if you were everybody was a millionaire, everybody had everything they needed, prison didn't mean shit. Kill 10 cops. Hey, you recruit. I can't say that fucking word. You just get that money back the next day.
recoup.
Recoup. And people, you just get bored. You need a counterbalance. There has to be like a degree of loss for things to feel like they have meaning on the server.
Well, and I know I'm kind of like jumping ahead in some of the updates to it, but there's also like the shackle thing, which I honestly, all this happened yesterday, so I haven't really had time to mess with it. But I know that we're able to take prisoners outside of the prison, kind of under supervision, I guess, and do field trips or like kind of community
Field
service
trips.
stuff too. Yeah, like prisoner field trips. So I don't think it's like you're just going back and forth between boxes and like welding or whatever. Like there's stuff that like is outside of the prison and like stuff to work off your debt too. And it's a benefit because then you're working off debt, right? Like you get back towards hopefully having no debt, right? So I
Oh
think it's a
my
benefit
god,
to
that'll
get
be
there.
chain gang.
Yeah,
Chain
it's
gang?
literally
Yeah,
chain
literally
gang.
chain
It
gang.
literally is, yeah.
And listen, I see the since we do roleplay podcasts live, a lot of people in chat, and I think there's been a lot of people who are really scared from who watch the clowns and sort of how, because they rack up crazy debt and they do a lot more of that celebrity. What I would
The
actually
doomers in my chat the
the-
other day, man. There were people in my chat going, "Oh, Chatterbox needs to leave the server. It's over."
Yeah.
07, guys. 07 with jumping ship.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the business of a reaction, so people always react, overreact too.
all I would say is let's let it play out. Let's see how it goes. And here's where I'm like, when I even read it initially, I was like, I don't know if I like this change. But do you know why I want to let it go or like let it play out? I'm gonna be honest. I'm not trying to glaze you guys too much, and I still fucking hate Carmine. Fuck that character. But Chains is such a good role player. Dave is such a good role player. Scaper is such a good. What I would say is, if you're someone who enjoys watching the clowns or James Randall, think about think about Scotty Bard, think about Bobby Charles, think about Carmine. Those are great characters. Trust in the role players behind those characters to not make it a bad system. And let them have an opportunity to try to make something out of this role play. That's what I would say. And it could actually be something really cool.
I mean, I'm just gonna. I don't know. I feel like whenever I see people complain about stuff, half the time I'm like, am I taking like crazy pills here? Like what? Like why? What am I reading? Because like this is think about like if there's like chatters that are upset about Chatterbox or any other clown being in jail for too long. Like, do you realize who you're talking about? Like this is. Like these are the clowns. like this is literally, if they're the kings of taking L's, right? Or among the kings of taking L's, then like they're gonna make it funny. Just let them go make it funny, especially if they can just rip through their crazy debt. And what you said, it was like 40K an hour or something now. How much an hour?
So
20K.
I was told that a job now you can before, like yesterday it was $100
yeah,
every
it
job.
is.
Now it's 1K,
bad.
right?
Mhm.
Now they 10x the rate. So if
1K
it was,
is huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
yeah, and
lot.
I think a job takes like one run takes what, like 4 minutes,
Yeah, it's
3
not-
minutes.
Not too bad.
So you could probably clear more than 40K if you're on Adderall.
Yeah.
You put your mind
Plus,
to it.
we can
Yeah,
take
if you're
off
like-
money too,
XQC did
so you
50.
can get out probably really fast.
Yeah, because it's like the guards and barons, we're able to take like 5K off just whenever we want. I think maybe like with a cooldown of maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that.
Sab, I got a question for you. For admin Sab, okay? Would you say it's against the rules for us to take like 100K off of people and like cut their debt down if they can clear 40K at a time and we waste our money like it's nothing?
Well,
I don't
so
think
they,
we'll-
I think it's more of an in-character thing because you're basically taking money away from the state, right? They're working that debt for the state, not for you and Bobby Charles.
Or
If
the
what
state
the
account
don't
gets all
know
that
can't
money.
harm them.
Yes, I mean that
God
money's being,
damn.
yeah, all that money
You're
goes to the state. But
rich,
if you're taking a cut from it,
State of
I mean-
Dogtown.
I mean that's just a case that needs to be investigated, right? So
Okay.
So Dave,
Hey, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. We're picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah,
pulling up in a fucking gold Cadillac. Ooh,
Yeah, we're all gonna have
Dogtown is
diamond
good.
chains and walking in our fur coats.
I think for all the doomers, I think the biggest thing is like let's see how it plays out. You've Sab in this podcast. Nikita's in the chat. Like the staff of NoPixel are probably gonna see how this goes, right? If it's that, like, I don't think the staff of NoPixel is like, yeah, we want to just kick Chatter. They're not trying to kick Chatterbox or the clowns. Like they know how great that role play has been. So it's one of those where I'm like, I kind of just want to see how it plays out. I do think my biggest concern would be if I'm a character and I'm now making decisions on my day to day. And again, it depends on the character. I don't want to see some characters go into like sweaty escape mode versus the cops just to avoid the debt stuff. So
I feel
Yeah,
like that's like an issue that can be like like Dave Skate, we can like intervene, like we can judge a person by like what we perceive their character to be, and and approach them differently than we would someone who's standing in Polito selling weed, making 100K a day.
Well, and I think too for like all three of our characters, we're not like W chasers where like we just want to like stand on the necks of criminals or anything. Like we want them
Yes,
like
we
the
do.
prisoners.
Oh, no,
Maybe
we
you
do.
can, I don't know.
Some bitches.
I
Listen,
want
I'm
them
still
to have
waiting
a
to
good
get
time
back on
too,
the
man.
clowns,
Like
too.
I don't know. I feel like there's like a lot of stuff that can play out, and it's been like what, a day, and we still don't even know what's going on. So like it, I mean, the paint's got to dry a little bit, and we'll figure it out.
Exactly.